So now let's move on to possibly the longest mode in the entirety of the minigame mode, and that will have to be Minigame Wars. Win the minigame, select a tile. So basically, we're gonna have to able to constantly win minigames, and that's all you really have to do in this particular mode. But as far as the minigame selections that we're gonna be playing through, is of course the majority of, well, full player minigames along with battle minigames here and there as well, because I was quite surprised that we haven't not seen that much battle minigames, well, aside from this last battle minigame that we have not seen yet, but hopefully we'll get ourselves a better chance by able to actually come across into this last battle minigame nonetheless, so hopefully we were able to actually just to do that. So yeah, I think what the actual main emphasis on Minigame Wars is all about, basically, is the fact that, oh yeah, we're actually going to be doing this battle minigame right here, which I think we already seen this loads of times already, so yeah, there's not much anything else to say about this from this point right there. So just need to do this button mashing thing quickly. Okay, so Waluigi's in 4th, Luigi's in 3rd, and of course, I won. Specifically, I did manage to beat the harder computer players on this minigame itself. Anyway, as far as the minigame wars suggest, is the fact that once you win a minigame, like any kind of minigame, then you weren't able to actually win a actual tile point. And you can only pick one of those spots, by the way, where it starts flashing. So because of this, I'm going to place my tile right there. Although, usually, relatively speaking, I can't select the any other tiles at the moment. So, I think there are a grand total of, like, let's just say 19 tiles or something. Even though it has been donkey's years since I actually managed able to touch this mode. So, regardless of anything else though, I might as well be able to be okay with this. Even though, despite the fact that, minigame wars might take a bit of a long time to able to get that little minigame mode finished and done with. So because of this though, and then afterwards though, we can pretty much guarantee we can move on to possibly the shortest mode in the entire game. Well, at least in terms of minigame modes suggest, but you probably get the idea of how this is going, so either way though. And I do apologize with the background noise you'd be hearing for the sake of the actual opening doors and stuff like that. I'm guessing that once again Shadow just managed to able to get a little bit paranoid for the sake of, you know, what's going on around the world, which again, nothing major, but it's just the fact that we still need to be safe for the most part. So anyway, oh, how come Luigi managed to win that? Oh, I get it, because he has a whole bunch of those plenty of chances by able to actually get himself a golden cheap, which I was expecting this, but regardless of anything else though, he's probably gonna choose that title over there. But if I somehow manage to win the next minigame coming up, if I manage to able to choose the next tile, if you manage to able to place your color title right next to where Luigi's tile was, basically this allows me to able to actually have an additional point. Like, let's just say we're going back into Hydro Stars once again, and because of that though, if I somehow win this minigame, then I can able to actually choose which specific title should I go through next. And because of that though, I'm also able to actually just to show you guys about this, once we're able to actually finish this minigame off. So yes, not much else I can talk about, aside from the fact that, well, relatively speaking, it's just the fact the matter is though, I can't remember what day it is today though, because I know for the fact that it has been a couple of days since I actually did manage to look up on the forms of calendars and all that stuff though, which, because I'm pretty much used to with like playing games on my own time and all that stuff, but I think I get the feeling that today's day is of course the 15th of August today, in this case in 2021, and it looks like that we've pretty much almost at the halfway point in terms of August already, for the sake of the forms of this year so far. And especially noticeable because of how the fact that usually, relatively speaking, we're still on the 8th month at the moment, so we can expect we can able to actually just to do countless amount of uploads for the sake of Mario Party 5, and then exponentially, oh yeah, the flashing tile over there, if I place that right there, it allows me to give me another point, and also just manage to get rid of Luigi's tile. So because of that though, it kind of does similar to this from the likes of the ones in one mode, from the likes of, let's just say in Mario Party 8, but it kind of does things a little bit differently for what I've noticing this. So, anyways, let's head back into triple jump, and I think this will be actually be the last time we're going to be seeing this mini game. So, hopefully, I'm also able to beat myself my another record. Oh my goodness gracious me. Oh, I somehow beat a new record, but I'm almost at the 14 meters, so I was close enough. Whilst unlike the forms of, you know, the American version of the game, basically it's the fact that you would be able to actually see feet as opposed to M. Although, usually in the Japanese version of the game, it's usually the same thing as the European version, but in a different speed, so at least in terms of the actual hertz, that's the thing, so... But I digress. Alright, so let's see how Waluigi's doing, and he's gonna probably... Oh wow, he somehow managed to sweep up both Luigi and Wario for that jump distance. And of course, a new record. How's that for that one? Oh yeah, something's worth mentioning for it is the fact that, I don't suppose that Tiana hasn't mentioned about this ever since in Mario Party 4. Or at least ever since back on Spring. Apparently though, if you let the computer players manage to able to beat your record, it does not count as saving your new record. You have to achieve that this time around, which it will continue that tradition until, well, obviously in here, and Mario Party 6, Mario Party 7, Mario Party 8, Mario Party DS, and of course, not to mention, Mario Party 9, Mario Party Island Tour, and I'm presuming Mario Party Star Rush, and maybe Super Mario Party, and well, not so much in the forms of the top 100, because it doesn't matter what specific placement you're in. Basically, it's the fact that if you're either in 2nd, 3rd, or even 4th for that matter, sometimes you might as well able to get yourselves a new record for almost instant, for likely, depending on what positions you're in, so... Yeah, I just don't know why, but either way though, it knows what happens for the most part, so, and obviously if you couldn't tell already, that I'm actually going to be keep on playing, Super Mario Party online mode for the sake of, today, because I'm actually having a lot of fun for able to actually play in that particular, well, the online feature in Super Mario Party, which again, I think what Sonic has already mentioned about this ever since in Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz HD Let's Play for the Sonic's playthrough, that he somehow managed to think to ourselves that, it's about time to able to actually now finally have online play in a Mario Party game nonetheless, completely. Like, you know, aside from, you know, the singular mode from, you know, Mario-thon, but at least, you know, you can now finally play Mario Party mode, Partner Party mode, in online play, along with free play as well. So yeah, that's pretty top-notch, all things considered. Although, as far as what Sonic has already mentioned about this earlier, since in that specific Let's Play, well, of course, by the forms of Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz HD, that the only modes that it was not accessible on online is, of course, Soundstage, because of most of those, you know, rhythm games does not even make a cut for the actual online play, and to top it off, the River Survival mode. Well, at least despite you can able to still play some of these River Survival minigames during free play mode in, well, in online play, so at least that was an option. But aside from that, and of course no challenge mode, just because it's only single player. Which is understandable because, you know, it plays pretty much exactly like, you know, Minigame Island from both Mario Party 1 and Mario Party the Top 100, and the Minigame Coaster from Mario Party 2. Well, aside from the fact that we can't go on the coasters and all that stuff, so, but you know, you get the suggestions for this point right there, so it looks like Waluigi wins that specific minigame due to the forms of the actual, random, placements for that stupid, Rumble Fumble minigame, just because I still am not a big fan of that minigame, just because of the forms of the actual frequency when it comes to, like, you know, the GameCube's Rumble feature, which most of the time, it just sometimes becomes a bit random for my taste, but that's how it is for me. It's just pure random. And look at that, we're going back into Fish Upon a Star yet again. And this time, this will be the definition of the final time we're going to be playing this minigame, which is kind of sad, honestly, because I just really wish that would make a comeback in the top 100, but it doesn't, so kind of sucks, but what can you do? Which, that reminds me, why can't they just replace button mashers why they just could able to replace button mashers minigame and just try to replace it from this minigame, because that will be a kind of a cool minigame to able to have. Well, at least for the minigame as it is, but I have no idea, because it has been too late to able to actually predict right now, but whatever. And I somehow win. So, again, there's not much else I can honestly try to talk about, aside from the fact that we've only got about, 3 modes to go. Once we finish up completely, in terms of minigame mode, then once we're done with that, we can pretty much guarantee to move on to the forms in the next mode, which appears to be, of course, the bonus mode. So because of that, I can assure to you that most people seem to get really hyped about bonus mode, mainly it's because of that one particular mode that everyone is really looking forward to, which, you know why until at some point, maybe during the next few weekends' time. So because of that, though, well, at least despite the fact that we're still on the halfway point in terms of August already, so alright, so here we go with Leaf Leap once again, and this will be... oh, shoot. This is not good. This is not good. And I have no idea why I say things gibberish about it, which I just have no idea, because I just keep on getting myself distracted with all these jumps and what have you. So I get this horrible feeling I might actually mess this up. So, but that's fine by me, because I'll let someone else wins this. So, yeah, whoever's gonna win this, I'm actually very kind of curious, because I get the feeling that, oh, Luigi and Wario somehow both win. However, though, here's the thing, much like the forms of, well, let's just say, minigame battle, unfortunately, ties with first place will not count, because you only need to predict, only one player winner. So because of this, though, if what happens if Luigi and Wario gets a tie for first, no one gets it. So yeah, that's something's worth knowing for. Alright, so let's see what's next. Okay, so Chimp Chase. We have not played, Chimp Chase for quite some time. It's even especially noticeable because either way though that, you know, Sony's minigame roulette system can be a bit random, but either way though, it knows what it is, so. Anyways, let's go ahead and just, you know, deliver the correct color spawning chimps or Yukikis and all that stuff, so that way we can able to actually get a whole bunch of points, so, yeah, there's not much else to say. So either way though, we can able to expect to able to like to discuss more points worth noting for, but it's just that there's nothing right to home about, honestly guys. But at least we've almost nearly at the end of this Let's Play so far, at least expecting they might able to have a whole bunch of videos, which kind of think about it, so far at the moment, that Mario Party 5 might actually be the longest Hudson Soft Mario Party Let's Play out there. Well, at least if you want to count Mario Party 6 as well, because that game also has, you know, extra content and all that stuff. But then again, we'll get to Mario Party 6 eventually, so possibly during the forms of autumn time? Maybe. We could able to possibly find out and doing at some point or another. Alright, so let's see what's next. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. And also there are rare occasions where sometimes the special turn actually triggers. And what this means is that if someone wins this minigame, basically they'll able to get their chance to able to pick which tile you want to able to get take a point from. So in this case though, unfortunately we have to go for this luck-based minigame here, so yeah, I somehow lost. Ah. That's just terrific. But let's see how the others are doing. Wow, looks like Luigi managed to able to swipe that up. Gee, I'm quite surprised right there. And I get the feeling that he's probably gonna steal my title or anything, so yeah, I get to take a actual bet that he's probably gonna take my title, so let's see. Yep, he's gonna steal my point, so I might be alright with that. well, aside from the fact that, well, usually relatively speaking, that we are slowly getting there. So I think we actually got about 11 titles left, so... And of course we got Later Skater here, so let's see how this is gonna represent for the sake of the forms of how this turns out to be. And I've actually got myself a ring notification here, so I'm guessing that Blossom did manage to able to text me saying that maybe we should go for swimming at some point, which I will definitely accept it. So in this case though, I'm super hyped about it because, well, despite Sonic is allergic to water and stuff like that, which is, you know, probably true. It's definitely true for that circumstances, but yeah, you probably get the idea of how this will turn out. Even for 30 years later, that he still despises water so much, and I somehow managed to get screwed over right there. Oh well, bigger cells can be choosers, but no big deal. Especially how the fact that Luigi was actually managed to able to almost catch up to me for, you know, certain stipulations and all that stuff. So let's see what tile is he going to select next. Well, it doesn't matter anyway, because he managed to able to get the next title there. So I guess that might be good for Luigi. And after all that, he got 2 points so far. And it looks like we only got about 10 more to go. So either way though, yeah, it feels kind of slow at first, mainly due to the forms of, like, you know, several of, like, cinematic scenes or something. But when you get the hang of it, it's actually not too noticeable. Alright, back to Hotel Goomba, which it has been a while since we actually played this minigame, which, to be expected with most any other, like, minigame modes here and there. Sometimes, you know, minigame roulettes can be predetermined by random, so, you know, you get the suggestions for this point, so... Alright, so here comes the hard room, so let's see how this will go. I'm not sure if this is gonna be... this is not gonna work. Hold on, I need to able to do a bit of a mindset, so, well, at least trying to think at the same time, but, there we go. Now I've got that puzzle's problem solved, but hey, at least I managed to get there in the end. And then the other 3 players managed to get onto the 3rd and final floor already because, you know, they're on hard mode. So, I'm actually kind of surprised that I've seemed able to do really dang good when it comes to several minigames in Mario Party 5 for able to actually compete against computer players on hard mode. Well, few exceptions mind you, like, you know, fish sticks or anything else to be more specific, but it knows what it is for the most part. So, but I digress, and mainly due to the forms of several luck-based minigames like, you know, Lucky Lineup and Mathlete, and also to top it off, oh, we got ourselves Dodge Bomb. I bet this minigame will go down for lesser than, wow, 2 seconds or something, or even 1 second if you're lucky, but let's see what happens this time. Well, Waluigi's out. And both Wario and Luigi managed to get knocked out at the same time. Oh, jeez. Seriously, that minigame reminds me of, you know, bumper balloon cars from the likes of Mario Party 2. Like, seriously, it just reminds me of that. But anyway, now let's go ahead and select, yeah, let's select this one. So, yeah, looks like I've got about 9 points so far. I was expecting if I was gonna go for a perfect minigame wars, but didn't get a chance just because of some minigames, man. Oh no, we're going back into this random luck-based minigame again, aren't we? But this time we are now revisiting back onto Random Ride, of course. Alright, let's get this minigame over with. Alright, so... despite the fact that we haven't played this minigame that much either, which I absolutely have no idea how come we didn't play this minigame as much. Okay, so Waluigi's gonna choose Perfect Conditions, and Luigi's gonna choose Daily Routine, and as for me, I'm gonna go for General Long Shot, even though despite, you know, it's a luck-based elements to it, and Wario's gonna choose Feeling Good. I've no idea why I'm saying things weirdly enough. But let's just watch anyway. I'm out. Of course. Of course, I'm always out for several, like, you know, luck-based elements like this. Even though it's kind of fun to watch, but it's just that, well, it feels kind of, like, unfair when if you're able to choose the best conditions or something. But, you know, you get the idea. It's basically, you know, Day at the Races, but on Mario Party 5 on the GameCube. So, I guess that's pretty much settles in with that. So, it looks like Waluigi managed to win the actual minigame for once, which is good for him. And he's probably going to choose any kind of tile as he was going to place, and we only got 7 panels left. Or 7 tiles, I should say. So, yeah, it looks like we're almost at the end of this mode. So, at least, again, what if we get on to next weekend, specifically until next Saturday or something, then we probably expect that we can able to tackle through the shortest mode in the entire game, which I'll discuss on that sooner or later. But regardless, we're going back into Wildflower again. Ah, jeez. Oh, I somehow managed to beat a new record. Well, not much though, just under about 10 milliseconds. But that's fine, I'll take it. Oh yeah, something worth mentioning for is the fact that in a Japanese arcade machine, by the forms of the, well, Mario Party arcade game based off of Mario Party 5, well, as far as I saw the footage, usually for Wildflower, minigame does manage able to have something like, well, let's just say 6 players or something, which even then though, it does feel a bit slightly interesting to say the least, even though in order to able to do something is that you get out to bet for luck, which I totally understand why, that the English versions of these Mario Party arcade games never saw the light of day in the English countries, because otherwise you might as well able to waste a lot of cash and all that stuff. Which is, you know, very understandable. Anyway, so we go back onto Mazed and Confused, and, oh dear. I'm actually getting really unlucky moments like this right here. But regardless of such though, I think Wario managed to make it, so yeah, he did somehow win. Okay then, I might be alright with this, especially because he hasn't got a single, title so far, so at least I'll be alright able to actually just to let him win this. And he's probably gonna choose this title over there. And it looks like we only got 5 titles left until we're pretty much done here, so yeah, I think the game ends once the actual every single tiles is filled up, so at least I'm guessing that correctly, so Chomp Romp. I'm glad to be back on this though, after, you know, minigame decathlon since, well, ever since yesterday, so, now we can play this again, but this time for the final time, unfortunately, which, yeah, don't get me wrong, I found this minigame to be a really awesome minigame, even especially noticeable because this is actually a much more better, Chain Chomp minigame that has ever came out with. Especially noticeable because, well, after the forms of, you know, Mario Party 2, Mario Party 3, and Mario Party 4, when it comes to Chain Chomp based minigames, it just feels like I'm always have a hard time with these minigames. Like, you know what I mean, when it comes to Sneak and Snort from Mario Party 2, has some control issues, and Merry-Go Chomp from Mario Party 3 is incredibly luck based. Although, I don't mind Chain Chomp Fever from Mario Party 4, but the fire spells are way too much for my taste, so but at least thankfully this is a much better Chain Chomp minigame, at least in terms of the Mario Party game. Although next to the ones in the forms of one of them from Mario Party 6. So, but then again, we'll talk more about that at some other time. So anyways, I managed to stall Wario's points there. Well, only 1 point to be more specifically, so I might be okay with this. And let's see what minigame are we playing next. And it looks like we're playing Dingo Derby again, so yeah, I guess we're able to do some more baseball action. Well, it wasn't until whenever we get on to Mario Party 8, Swing Kings, the minigame is actually called. Technically speaking, there was also this little mini event that also heavily utilizes baseball. That I think it was in one of those boards in Mario Party 7. That's basically a neon height. That basically you can able to actually get the insane amount of home runs on that board. And basically, if you do somehow manage to get a whole bunch of home runs and all that stuff, then you would able to reward points based on how well you do. So, even though, again, we'll get on to Mario Party 7 until 2022, so... Oh, can I possibly able to actually get a perfect record on there? Well, we'll find out. Okay. Well, despite the fact that it's not perfect, but at least I did miss 3 baseballs, but I'm fine with that. But, going close enough, though. So, anyway, let's see how I gonna place my tiles somewhere. And I'm actually gonna place that somewhere. Yeah, I'll try to place it here. And it looks like I've got about 14 points, so yeah, it shouldn't be that too much noticeable, I think. So, alright, next minigame we have is Astro Knowledge, logical, and this one is actually a special turn. So if I somehow win this, I can able to actually just place whatever which specific tiles I want to place. So, in fact, it has been a very, very long time since I actually played this. I think the last time I actually played this, though, it was actually, I think if I recall correctly, it was actually on Rainbow Dream, perhaps? So, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's in Rainbow Dream. That was the last time we played this. Even though, sadly, I did somehow lose this minigame due to the forms of confusion. So, hopefully we'll able to try this again this time around, but in a much more better scale. So it looks like me and Luigi are actually doing pretty good so far, so at least expecting of such. And I get the feeling this is... Oh, code number 2. There we go. There we go, I've now finally won this minigame. Sure, it's a bit simple and easy when you get the hang of it, but most of the time you have to be super fast at it. Especially noticeable if you're too slow, then basically you're not going to get any points whatsoever. But I digress. Let's see what tiles I'm gonna select. I was expecting if I was trying to get rid of Luigi's tiles, but that might took way too long. So because of that, though, I'm just gonna place that right here, as you can see on screen. And hopefully I won't let Wario or Waluigi try to steal my spots. So anyway, so let's see what minigames we got next. Flower Shower 1-1. Duh. I really can't speak for this point today, folks. I do apologize for that. Flower, shower, flower, you name the rest. And, basically, this will be the final time we're going to be seeing this minigame. But at least we only got 2 minigames left, though, so, God knows whoever will going to win this last minigame for sure, for the sake of minigame wars. But ultimately, though, whoever gets the most tiles by the end of this particular game mode is the winner here. So, yeah, to be expected for the most part when it comes to several of those, you know, minigame modes, and you name the rest, so... But I digress. So I get the feeling now Waluigi's almost gonna catch up at one point. Which I was quite surprised about, because I was expecting if, almost at 30 flowers again, but I'll take it nonetheless. I mean, I'm quite surprised that Wario somehow managed to beat Waluigi within 1 flower in 2nd place. Even though despite, you know, winning conditions on, you know, 2nd, 3rd, or 4th does not count, unlike the rest of the ND Cube Mario Party installments, which you guys should know what I mean, so... Alright, so let's place that one over there, and, well, we only got 1 title left, so it doesn't matter if I lose or win, so God knows what the last minigame is, so let's have a look. And it turns out it's, a perfect way to end things off, which is Twisting Out. Even though despite that last time we actually played this, though, it was actually on Bowser Nightmare. So I'm hoping I can able to fully win this time? Although I'm not exactly sure 100% surely, though, but we'll see. Oh, jeez. It's so easy to able to actually just, well, wouldn't pay attention to that. Come on. Let's see if I can just... Well, Luigi's out, and Wario's out. Oh, dang it, Waluigi! Oh well. no big deal. He might able to actually only get 1 point anyway, so it really doesn't matter. But at least I did try, though. At least I did try. But anyway. So hopefully we were able to actually get this mode finished, so... yeah. Not much else to say. That's all I can honestly try to think of. So yeah, as I said, the game will end until all the tiles are set. So in this case, the winner in Minigame Wars is someone managed to achieve 16 points. That is me. Nicely stuff. Well, I have no idea why saying things weirdly enough, strangely, but anyway, now we're done with that out of the way, and let's go ahead and move on to the shortest minigame mode in the entire game.